you're curious. I mean, you've been maybe following us for a long time. Some of you guys maybe just followed us, you know, recently, but you see something here that's special, you know. Very few people, I think, come to us strictly from the educational side, because any longer, if all you want to do is learn this business and never do anything, well, you know, you can go on the internet and learn all you want to do. The people that tend to gravitate towards us, even the ones that aren't yet our partners, are the ones that want to do something. And you're looked at our model, you've checked it out, hopefully you've investigated to a pretty high level, and you're like, this is a pretty cool thing these guys do, but for whatever reason, you're not our partner yet. And we get it. Look, we know, we as individuals, like, just because I see something I like doesn't mean I jump in right away. We totally can relate to that. Sometimes you need more information, you need more facts, you need more figures, you need to see more people that are doing it. You want to feel comfortable with the people that you're going to do this with. And so you're kind of going through this get to know us process. We get it. We appreciate it. We appreciate you taking time away from your family, because it's like nighttime in most part of the United States. And, you know, and you're investing into yourself, you're investing into your future, obviously into your family's future. And we could tell you, our mission for you guys is very simple. We want you to become our partners. I mean, because we need to do more deals. And the only way we do more deals is by having more partners, okay? And so we don't want to spend a tremendous amount of time tonight discussing about our program, because we have a very specific, very kind of near and dear topic we want to cover with you guys today. But for those of you that are kind of checking us out, to really get a feel for what it means to be our partner, which really gets it comes down to a number of really short things. You get coached and mentored by us, right? We help you generate leads right where you live, and we spend money doing it. Once we find a deal, we provide 100% of the capital to do the deal. We provide 100% of the capital to fix it. Our construction team gets very involved right where you live, help you fix it. And then when we sell it, we split the profits down the middle, 50-50. And guys, let me tell you, if you're on that end of this whole webinar and you're listening to us, I'm just going to tell you right now, from a guy that's been doing this for 20 plus years, that there's no better way to do this business. I mean, there's just, you're literally in our model, you have all the upside, you have no downside. And if you're serious about this business, we feel very confident in telling you, because this is how much we believe in our model, this is the best thing since sliced bread. So if you want to learn more about how you can become our partner at any time tonight, or whether you're listening to this later on, simply go to our website at www.partnerdriven.com. There you could see us more, hear about what we do more. You could listen to real life partners that we're doing, have done deals with, or currently doing deals with. And if you still love it the way you hopefully you're loving it right now, just simply put your information to the website. Either one of us or one of our members of our team will touch base with you. And literally the way we work this, before you know it, within the next couple of days, we could be generating leads and opportunities right there where you live. So anyway, that's how we like to start out things. I will tell you one more admin thing. Okay. 2 months from now, 2.5 months from now, we have our next live webinar, and that's coming up in January 11th and 12th. And
that's going to be our live event.
What did I say?
Live webinar.
Live webinar. See, why Julie's here. Live webinar. I said it again. Our live event coming up January 11th and 12th of next year, guys. All I can tell you is this: it's an event like nothing else you've ever seen. You're not going there just to learn and understand this business, which you will learn and understand this business. You're not only going there to get trained, which you will get trained, but you're going there to hopefully leave with a partner to do deals with. And there's no one that does it. Nobody will invite you across the country and say, hey, come on, partner with us. Let us generate leads for you. Let us do the marketing. Let us coach you. Let us mentor you. Let us give you all the money. Let us send our construction team into your market. So, and we will have a page up about that here in the next, hopefully, couple weeks. But just block it off. Atlanta, Georgia, January 11th and 12th. It's a great time to make a commitment to Unity Future. And I could tell you, this is a great opportunity for whether you're already our partner. We'd love to see you there. This is where you are absolutely reset and get to the next level. Or if you're not quite a partner by that time, you will be. So make sure you block off that weekend. So we got, most of the time when you see Julie and I do these webinars, usually a lot of times Julie is like at her place, I'm at my place, we're doing video conferencing. Sometimes lately you've been watching Julie does her thing one week, I'll do my thing the next week. But tonight, and I can't remember, well, I guess we have done, we've obviously done these together. But tonight we're doing this together. And we're doing this together for a very special reason, because tonight we're going to share a little bit about us personally, how we met, how this whole model got started so many years ago, before it was even called PartnerDriven, how our relationship started, how we got into investing together. Because like anything else, guys, real estate is a story. Every deal is a story. Every single thing you do is a story. And so we feel there's a purpose behind Julie and I being here. And a lot of times I get asked, I'm sure Julie get asked, well, how did this whole thing come about? Who came up with the idea, or how'd you guys meet? Or, the thing I always get asked, well, how does Julie go work for me directly or something, And so we thought we'd share our story of how many years ago we met, and kind of how it now we become the force that we have in this business. But it's a little bit unique approach in that I have my own little takeaway that I want you to take from what we're about ready to share. And I know Julie's got her own little takeaway from what she wants you to take away. My kind of whole thing and how I initially met Julie is I always use that as a framework, how somebody needs to, like, if you want something in life, let's say you want to go work somewhere, or you want to build something, or if you want to get something done, I always utilize that initial kind of month or two, or really that even those initial couple of days in our meeting, I always use that as an example. I mean, if you want something in life, she was a blueprint in how you get it. And so I'll kind of take us back to many, many years ago. But interesting enough, many years ago, and this is like multiple offices ago, but the interesting thing is that office is walking distance from where we are, isn't it?
Isn't that funny? Yeah.
That's literally, I mean, we've been into 3 or 4 offices since initially I met Julie, but literally it's like less than a quarter of a mile from here. And, this is a 10,000 square foot office space here with many offices. We got a lot of moving pieces in what we do. But back then, I had an office, and I think I only had one other person with me, didn't I? Maybe a couple other.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob. Yeah. What about Bob? Back then it was Bob and I, and Bob and I were, Bob and I actually working together for many years. He was one of the first lenders I utilized when I started this business 20 some years ago. And so right down the road, Bob and I were working. I was very focused on doing real estate deals. Bob was focused on kind of the money side of this business, both raising funds for me to do more deals with, doing some lending to outside people and stuff like that. But I was like in growth mode. It was after the crash of 08. It was a number of a little bit past that. And, I was in a big rebound. And because remember, when the market crashed, guys, I make no bones about it. I crashed with it. I'd like to sit here and tell you I was the only guy standing back then, and I had all figured out. Hell to the no. I don't know if we could say that. But no, man, I took a plunge, when everybody took a plunge. And I'm not ashamed to share it, because part of my story is that I have had big ups, and I've had just as many, big downs. And so back then, I was kind of coming out of the big recession as it relates to the real estate business. Was doing quite a number of deals. And I was kind of in my growth mode. I was in expansion mode, because the one thing that, and this is something you guys all got to understand, sometimes people get in this business and they have this whole misconception. They think that real estate is a one-man show, and it really isn't. Real estate is not a one-person show. If you want to grow, you're gonna need to somehow learn how to leverage. This is a make no mistake about it. In real estate, growth only comes through leveraging other people's efforts, leveraging other people's bodies, leveraging systems, all of that. You have to learn how to do that. So back then, I was leveraging things out. I wanted to increase how I was finding deals. For those of you guys who know, in real estate, it's all about finding deals, right? And I always teach people to this day, as you're growing, as you're expanding, people say, well, what's the first person I bring on board? What's the first thing I focus in on? I say, it's all about marketing. It's like, where do you spend your first dollar in real estate? You spend it on marketing. Where do you Where do you bring more resources on in real estate? It's on marketing. Where do you hire somebody? It's on marketing. Because in the end, marketing is what makes you money. By the way, guys, that doesn't change from business to business. It's all about marketing. You know, just today was Julie and Ben and Ralph and I right in this table for, you know, a couple hour session. And guess what? We were talking about marketing, because in marketing, it's the only thing that has the ability to suffocate your business. It's the only thing that has the ability to make you a ton of money. You know, any business that you see, I promise you, they focus on marketing. It's where everything starts, but especially in the real estate business. Because if you think about it, we really have, especially in real estate, we don't have a product. You know, I mean, you could be argued that, you know, like Walmart has products. I mean, they have to market the crap out of these products, but they're a product-driven company. Real estate is not. We don't have a product, okay? So you have to find the product by marketing. So it's all about marketing. So as I was growing and I was expanding back then, I was like, you know, and by the way, my history up until then in real estate, especially before the crash, was always very bird dog property locator focused. I mean, I think in the end, my past partner Jeff and I, we had trained thousands, I mean, literally tens of thousands of bird dogs. Matter of fact, we ultimately, I think, developed the largest bird dog property locator training in the nation. Ultimately, we took it just here locally. You know, we started in our office, then we had to knock the walls down in our office to make it a bigger office. Then we knocked every single wall in our office. When people walk in, it was just one big kind of open space. And then we outgrew that, and then we started doing it in hotels, and all it was directly tied into bird dog training, because I knew if I trained, or Jeff and I knew if we trained enough bird dogs, we'd have enough cool and fantastic deals coming in, hopefully off of somebody else's efforts. So I in bird dogs is something I lived the world of bird dogs. So so here I was in this fairly small office space, you know, under 1,000 square feet. And, was doing deals, was wanting to expand, wanted to grow. And bird dogs, because that was like my second nature back then, I was like, I need to get my bird dog force rebuilt. And so I run this ad like we all do, right? Mm-hmm. Looking for bird dogs in the exact same area. We all run them, right? Craigslist advertising. Mm-hmm. And I can't remember what the ad said, but before I know it, you know, I had picked up my phone, you know, there was a call, and it was Julie. And it's like, we talked for a couple minutes, and you know, everybody knows my relationship with Julie now, right? So Julie doesn't mind when I say these things. I don't think I was like overly impressed back then. I mean, I just talked to her. I was like, all right, come on in, you know, 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And, you know, we'll talk.
And I was there 15 minutes early, by the way.
And she probably was there 15 minutes early, because that's how Julie operates. And so, you know, I went through this interview of Julie. So this is many years ago now. And again, remember that I want to teach you something. I don't want to just tell you our story. I want you to get something out of it. I know Julie's going to want you to get something out of it here in a minute also. But the interesting thing is when I talk to Julie, and again, don't get mad at me. I know Julie won't because of our relationship. But if you're listening, don't think I'm picking on Julie. But when Julie was done, like when she and I were done, I was like, whatever. I mean, it was not, remember, I'm like hiring bird dogs, right? I'm not like hiring rocket scientists. So like the level of who you're trying to hire is not like up here. You know, you're not looking for MBAs. You're not looking for people that have 20 years experience. You're looking for people that you kind of have some confidence, that have the ability to go out there and at least like maybe knock on doors or make some calls. And like, I didn't even have that necessarily that confidence. So when Julie left, it was just kind of like move on with the day, right? And so I did what anybody else does that doesn't find the person they want. You know, I ran my ad back in again back in Craigslist, and like I'm like the kind of person doesn't remember what I did yesterday. I mean, I literally right now, if you had to say what did you do yesterday, I have but there's moments in my life that I remember, and it just so happens this is one of those moments. I remember like it was kind of towards I had something going on that afternoon, and so I was sitting in my car. This is the same day I interviewed Julie, the same day I ran the ad back that I'm looking for more people to hire. And I'm sitting in my car, and my phone rings, and it's Julie, okay? She's like, hey, like, I can't remember exactly what it said, but it was something along the lines, what are you doing?
I saw you reposted the ad, and I'm not sure why.
And,
That's what I was wanting to know.
and I'm like, I didn't even know who it was. I'm like, what are you talking about? I didn't even connect that was the same person that was in an interview a couple hours ago. And so she went in this whole thing like, why are you reposting an ad? You know, I'm the perfect person. And I'm like, oh, whatever, right? But let me tell you something. That was the absolute first major, brilliant move that Julie made. You know, so many times the reason you're not getting those deals, the reason you're not able to negotiate the way you think you should be negotiating, the way you're not able to bring yourself onto maybe somebody else's team, or maybe you're not the person that's aligning themselves with the right people, and you're trying to figure out what is it about me? Let me just tell you, it's got very little to do probably with you, because again, all reality, I was just upfront with you. Julie didn't necessarily impress me. It's not like when Julie left, I was like, holy crap, this is the best thing since sliced bread. What Julie did there that was absolutely brilliant is she got proactive in the process. You know, so many times when people say, well, gosh, Pete, I'm discouraged, or this doesn't work, or I've talked to 50 sellers and I'm at 0, or, you know, I'm trying to align myself with people and nobody wants to align themselves with me, or, you know, I'm trying to build a team and I can't get the right person, or I'm trying to get myself get in the team and I can't seem to get in the right team. And it's and they're looking kind of at themselves from a perspective that, oh, I should be better, I should be stronger, I should be, you know, better this or but. And a lot of times it's not necessarily anything of that, because yeah, sure, first impressions are important, but first impressions will only take you so far. What's happening is you're not proactive enough in the process. You know, you just think you yourself should be the selling point. The resume should do the work for you. You know, your past should speak for itself. And I'm just telling you, that's just not how it works in life. You have to be proactive in the process. And this has to take place in all facets of your life, all facets of real estate transactions. You know, we live in a world where it's just too many things going on. You're competing constantly. You're competing for deals. You know, you're competing to be on the right team. You're competing to be in the right circle. You're competing, you know, to market with the right strategy. It's very competitive, guys. We live in, again, our meeting here for a couple, 2 or 3 hours, we're talking. It was all come back to, hey, how do we do better? How do we get more aggressive on something? You know, how do we reinvent ourselves to do something like that? If we just all sat back and say, hey, we did it so well 3 months ago, and so, okay, or whatever, Facebook, call us when you're killing it with us again. That ain't never going to happen. We're constantly are driving ourselves to be proactive. So that, you know, the big lesson that I have in terms of that initial meeting with Julie for so many people is be proactive. You know, if you want something, if you want someone, if you want to be part of something, you know, if you want somebody to be part of what you got, be proactive in the process. Because what happened in that initial day, those initial couple days, Julie got very aggressive. She got very aggressive. And it was no longer was I thinking, here's somebody that came into my office that was not very impressive. Right away, my feelings towards Julie switched from that to maybe not somebody who's one day going to be Julie, a partner, but at least they moved the needle enough to say, well, I should probably give somebody a chance. I mean, my gosh, if they want this, if they want me, if they want this opportunity, if they want this industry, as much as she says she wants it, why not at least give that person a chance? And you see, that's how you become successful in life. You do it just a step at a time, okay? You do it a step at a time. So the first thing is, how do you get in the door, right? And how do you move that needle just a little bit so you could like actually walk through that door, right? You know, don't think that you have to move the needle on the very first meeting that you're like, you know, part of the family. No, that first thing, be proactive in the process so you can just move the needle a little bit to get you in the door. And so that, again, my big takeaway from back then from Julie and what she did and what I try to teach people is be proactive. Be proactive in everything you do. You know, when I talk, you know, well, Mary's been with us for years now, but I remember back when we started, I don't know if you remember, I'm sure you do. We used to meet, and Mary's our closer. We used to meet with Mary, remember, a couple times a week. And all we did was we discussed the files. And like, okay, Mary, what are you doing in this file to move this deal forward? What are you doing in this file to move this deal? We don't have to do that anymore. Do we still meet with Mary? Absolutely. But now we talk conceptually about the deals. And every once in a while, you know, we'll kind of make a comment, kind of almost as a reminder. But 99% of the time, we know Mary has a habit of being proactive in the process all the way through. So guys, when you are interviewing, when you are looking to be part of something or with someone or vice versa, bringing a team on board, remember this thing, be proactive. Julie initially got to be totally proactive in the process. And so she was able to take what, you know, initially was an uneventful first interview that probably wouldn't have even turned in her favor. And here it is years and years and years down the road, going through every facet of this business to, you know, becoming a full-fledged partner. That's pretty good for a Craigslist ad that didn't go too well, that she got proactive about, moved the needle along the way, you know, and here we are together in this amazing model that we run. So that's kind of like Julie said, well, let's just banter back and forth.
There is no bantering, but I've got some stuff.
All right,
I'm just
what you got?
I try to break the jokes, guys. So, you know, like with what you were saying, let me tell you what it really is individuals tend to operate their lives out of fear, okay? They tend to operate out of fear and not being proactive because you care too much about what everybody thinks, right? So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to just kind of lay it on the line with you, since we said it's, you know, family thing. If it's okay with you, I'm going to just kind of lay everything out on the line to see if maybe I might say something that affected me back then that might affect you, because I truly believe the things that I'm going to tell you. One thing that Peter didn't know about me whenever all that went down is there in my 20s, actually, I was very successful. Even without a college degree, I made about $100,000 a year running a lawn care company, fertilization and weed control, which is way opposite, right? Well, like literally at this point in life, has anybody like ever like just had this one point in their life where everything fell apart? Personally, financially? I don't know about you, it happened to me. I literally got a divorce, lost a baby, went bankrupt, and quit my job all in 1 month. I mean, like when I say I hit rock bottom, I mean, I literally did. It was circumstances in my life, right? But it was also things that I done that got me there, right? And then like, I will never forget the day that my life changed. Okay, and I'll tell you exactly what happened. I was standing on the top of the hill where I lived, which, by the way, at that point, I had to move behind my dad's mechanic shop. Like, he had a mechanic shop at their house that he worked on cars at night, and there was this little room behind it that I lived in. I had no choice. Me and my daughter moved in there. And I remember sitting there one day and I'm looking around and I looked at my daughter and I'm standing at the top of this hill. And I kid you not, my knees literally hit the ground, okay? My knees hit the ground because I had an overwhelming realization of what just happened to me. I'm like, I felt God was speaking to me and said, Julie, you're not in control anymore. My knees hit the ground and you're going to do better. I felt better. I decided I'm not going to live in fear anymore. I'm not going to live in fear of something bad happening or not living the life that I was destined to live. So within that next couple of days, strangely enough, if you can imagine, I have my little plastic table, the one you get at Walmart. I have my computer sitting on it. I'm going through Craigslist, see your ad. Then I start looking up real estate investing, right? And then I just had this idea. I'm thinking, I could be great at this. Like, that's what I thought, which turned out I was pretty good at it. But So when I saw this ad, it was kind of like I got to learn for free because I didn't have any money. And I was literally blown away when I left the interview and he reposted the ad. I was kind of irritated. That's when I called you and was like, I have no clue. When you had the perfect person sitting here, why in the world you would hire somebody else, right? But that's because there was no fear involved, right? What was the worst thing that would have happened? You would have told me no. I already was working anyway, so if you told me no, oh well. So I thought I might as well just go as far as I can. That's what I've done. And ever since that day I was telling you about, that's how I focused my life. I quit living out of fear. So, you know, when you're looking at being successful in real estate, there's a lot of reasons and a lot of things people will tell you. I tell you what to do if you truly want to be successful, okay? You've got to stop living life in fear of what you're not able to accomplish. Only put in your mind what you know you can accomplish and quit living on the fear that you're going to fail. Throw that out the window. Throw that in the garbage. That's nothing that you can control. So ever since then, I've decided when I wake up, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to have a valid reason for doing it. When I'm calling a seller, let me tell you, there's no way they're not going to meet me for an appointment because I don't live in fear. I'm going to ask them until the cows come home, right? But the point is that I know a lot of you are like me, okay? I didn't start this business with money, okay? I didn't start this business with a lot of knowledge. But what I did start this business was with the idea and the belief that I could be successful if I put my mind to it. And I was able to align, as he talked about earlier, you see, I was able to align myself with the master coach to start with, and I learned by doing, okay? So over the years, let's just say, and by the way, this was only 6.5 years ago. I literally went from, I mean, like one story is I got up like metal out of our yard because my dad was a mechanic. So there was just like metal laying around everywhere. I literally got the metal up and was taking it to the scrap yard just to get $20 and $30 so that I could like feed myself. That was 6.5 years ago. And now let's just say I don't have to scrap metal anymore, right? The point is that people want to know what makes a true good real estate investor and what makes someone good in this business. It's that they don't operate out of fear. They know how to align themselves with the right people, and they go after it with all of their heart. That day, strangely enough, changed my life, and it wasn't for, I could almost cry, like it wasn't for my best friend Peter, right? I wouldn't be where I am today. But he wouldn't be where he is today without me either. There's value in you, and there's value in the people that you put yourself in front of. And we talked about like how we came up with PartnerDriven. If I would have had PartnerDriven back then and I could have started, I would be even more successful than I am now. Okay? And I'll tell you why. Because of everything that we've put together at PartnerDriven, what we've done is tried to start you from start to finish to kind of give you those training wheels. You know, like when you're trying to teach a kid how to ride a bicycle and you see them going, and the next thing you know, they start to fall over a little bit, and then you're there to kind of pick them up and put them right back on the same path. To me, that's what PartnerDriven is. Because we're there for the motivation. We're there to answer any questions that you might have, right? Along with the funding, along with the training and all of that good stuff, but it's also about being with like-minded people that believe in you. You can't tell me any backstory and tell me that you couldn't be successful in this business. I know this is a cliche, but if I can do it, you can do it. As long as you have the heart and determination, Lord, you can do anything you want to do, but you've got to make a decision today. Is it worth it for you? No, really. Think about it. Is becoming a successful real estate investor, is that important to you? I want you to really think about that. Please tell me in the comments, is that important to you? Why is it important to you? Okay. I know for me, when I was, starting and working on becoming successful, all I had to do was come home and look at my little girl's face. And when I saw her face every day, that was enough for me. That was enough for me to realize that I had to do what I had to do to get to where I wanted to be. That's all that we want for you. And you deserve it. You really, really do. Because let me tell you, life's a lot different when you stop operating out of fear. And there's even fear that comes with being broke, right? The fear of, oh, can I go out to eat for grandma's birthday? Do I have enough money in my checking account, right? When you get to this point, it's not about the millions in the bank. It's being able to go do these things and not have to operate out of fear. What do you think?
Well, there's absolutely no question, guys. And the one thing that I hope you guys saw today was that Julie and I operate, and she mentioned it, and and this is the direction I was taking this whole thing. She and I operate a lot stronger, a lot more powerful, a lot more profitable as a unit than we do separately. Now, could I have continued being an investor myself and done pretty good? Yeah, I mean, I already had a 15 plus or around 15-year track record when I met Julie. Could Julie have gone back into the industry she came out of and worked for another company? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Could she have gotten into this? But together as a unit, we became much stronger. And that is why we so much embrace and love our partnership program today. Because we're partnering with people just like you across the United States, and we do real estate deals. And let me tell you something, if at our level, 20 some years in a business, thousands of deals behind us, we feel like we're stronger in a partnership with somebody potentially who's like just getting started, then how can you, in the beginning of your career, think, well, I'm going to do this my way, or I think I'm just going to figure this thing out? I'm just telling you that as a unit, Julie and I have been able to create this. I mean, like even the thing I said, we started, quarter mile from here in an office building, a tenth the size of where we are. I mean, think about it, tenfold it. But what we've done is so much bigger than just tenfold together. Again, can we achieve some measure of success independently? Sure. But there's no question in either Julie's or my mind that we operate stronger as a unit. And by the way, all the things that Julie was talking about, fear and how you operate, what viewpoint, guess what? When you operate from a partnership, that even goes down, right? It's like, tell me if you got to go in the battle, if you got to go do something difficult, don't you feel safer when somebody is around you than when you're out there by yourself?
Yeah, it's like if you're going to war, those like war movies, like could you imagine holding the what's that thing called? Like that God, what is that? Oh no, my analogy is terrible. But your shield. Could you imagine being on the front line by yourself holding a shield? And then you imagine seeing all the guys, there together, what a unit that is. And it makes it different. I know if I was the only person out there holding a shield, I'd probably run away.
There's no question about it, guys. No matter how many ways we'll look at this, no matter how many angles we take, we're basically saying the same thing. Okay. And so, Julie's and my story, it's a great story. But you know what? This could be another story you're hearing and you're like, well, that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, logical. And you could file it away somewhere, never to be retracted again. Or this could be the time where you're like, you know what? This totally makes sense. I am stronger. I am more productive. I am smarter. I'm more effective. I'm more efficient, working in a team environment. And that's what our partner-driven model is all about. It's working with individuals just like you across the nation, helping you do real estate deals. We don't do it just because we want to help you, okay? Because we know it also helps us. Guess what? Having local boots on the ground makes us better, makes us stronger, makes us more effective, makes us more efficient, makes us smarter. So it's literally a win-win relationship. The reason Julie and I have been winning together is because it's literally, we're both winning. We're both winning. Every time we get to the next level, we're both winning at the next level.
And we've lost together too.
And guess what? And guess what? Guys, it's even easier to lose together. Yeah. There's been plenty of time. Well, maybe not plenty of times, but there's times where I've looked at Julie and I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah. But guess what? I'm glad I had somebody to look at and say, uh-oh, than to stare into like some oblivion and try to figure out how to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's our story, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you get something out of it. You know, we hope you learned it's important to be proactive. We hope you learned that it's important to be in a team environment. We hope you learned that real estate is really the only chance you have is to be in this kind of a proactive team environment. And again, guys, that is the model that we're a part of, and we hope that you could be one of our partners. We do this with individuals literally all over the United States. There's not a state that we wouldn't want to do this. There's not a city or a small town or a large town we would not love to have a one or maybe multiple partners, because this is what the model is all about. So if you want to learn and get mentored by Julie and myself and our whole team, if you want us to generate leads for you where you live, if you want to utilize our capital to buy the deals, our capital to fix them, our construction to help you fix them, and then, hey, let's sell it. And hey, at the end, whatever is left, we're going to split 50-50. If that model sounds like a great model, and it is, then you need to be, then go to our website at www.partnerdrivencoaching.com, and there you can get a bunch more information. But guys, remember, again, team environment, unity, being proactive, not operating out of fear. You know all this. We didn't tell you. I don't think any of us, I don't think Julie or I said anything you probably somewhere along the line haven't heard. Some of you guys are like sick and tired of hearing it. Well, let me tell you something. The reason you keep on hearing it and the reason you get pissed off sometimes when you hear it is because deep down inside, you know this works. So hopefully this could be the night. This could be the webinar that changes many things for you, because guess what, guys? We are not slowing down. We're growing, we're expanding, we're more fired up than ever about what we're doing. We've got some amazing things that we not to get totally off topic, but man, we just released an app for our partners that we got a couple hundred of our partners on already, that literally they're operating their whole businesses right out of their phones, all the way from CRM to tasks to point and click about a property, to skip trace from it, to shortly do direct mail on it. I mean, this is like freaking awesome. And that's what we were discussing here as a team, as a unit, about what more we could offer to the overall real estate community, specifically to our partner community and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And since I seem to be emotional this evening, I do have one thing to tell you, only because I needed to hear it over and over again. And honestly, I still do. Whatever your dream is, no matter if it's to be in real estate investing, whether it's to open a small restaurant, whether it's to do whatever you want to do, okay? Just know if you want it, you can achieve it, and really know that you're worth it, okay? You are worth it. And don't let anybody tell you any differently. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the best looking. But you are worth it. Anybody out there that's watching this, if you're doubting yourself, whether or not you can be successful or not, it's because you're doubting your self-worth, okay? I used to feel bad about becoming successful, almost like I didn't deserve it, because I didn't realize that I did deserve it. So if you're wondering on wanting to make a move in life, in real estate, in whatever, first thing you got to realize is you're 1,000% worth it, and you deserve it. And more than that, your family deserves it. So, you know, I've enjoyed spending the night with you, but whatever you're going to want to do, just go do it. Life is too short to sit back and let everything just go by the wayside, right? Live that life you want. Now, it's going to take some hard work. It's going to take some dedication, and it's going to take you getting outside of your comfort zone. But let me tell you, once you get in, the water's real nice, okay? So we want you to be a partner. I personally want to work with you, just like a lot of other people, you know, that are on here tonight. Hey, Anthony, Eugene Faulkner, just a few people I just see right here on top that are already our partners and are pretty awesome, by the way. But just talked to Anthony today, by the way. But we would love to work with you. Love to see you at our live event. And we just want to do deals together. And come on, next year's 2020. We're going into like a whole new, was it a decade? Yeah. I said I wasn't the smartest, though. Joking.
Well, listen, I think we've said it all. Guys, we enjoyed it. We loved it. We'll see you guys again. Same time, same place, next week with another. Oh, next week we got some phenomenal. Next week, next week you've got to be there. because we are launching and like the next version of this app I just talked to you about. So make sure you're here and spread the word. Next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m., we're going to have our partner developer on with us, Ben. It's going to be crazy. You want to be part of next week for sure. All right, guys. See ya.
Bye. Thank you.